Hey guys, it's Godbars here, the self-proclaimed hip-hop historian, and this is the 244th episode of my series, where I grab a vinyl from my collection, talk about why I love it, what influence it has, and what its place is in the grand scheme of hip-hop. Going from an innovative duo to a groundbreaking trio, today I wanted to discuss Naughty by Nature, which was a New Jersey-based group way ahead of their time and was comprised of rappers Vin Rock and Tretch, along with DJ KG, who resided behind the boards to handle the cutting, scratching, and production. These guys initially performed under the name The New Style, but after the release of their debut Independent Leaders, they would meet the great Queen Latifah, who would take on a sort of mentor role for the group, and wisely convince them to change their name to Naughty by Nature. I was considering covering one of the projects that followed their self-titled LP here, but I decided against it because I feel like there's probably an amount of people who may only be familiar with the big hits, like the anthemic track Hip Hop Hooray off their 1993 album 1993, or the super catchy song Feel Me Flow off their 1995 Poverty's Paradise, which would end up winning Best Rap Album at the 1996 Grammys and was actually the first ever recipient of the award. But what I feel like deserves more focus is how insanely technical and forward-thinking Tretch was as a writer and lyricist, and while he's another case of someone who I don't necessarily see eye to eye with on every issue, I can still listen to an album like Naughty by Nature and acknowledge how complex and progressive the rhyme patterns are, especially for 1991. To be fair, you could argue the group's biggest hit is on this LP, that being the track OPP with its iconic flip on the Jackson 5's ABC. But the verse I want to share some lines from actually comes on Yoke the Joker, which is the very first song on this thing and the track that introduced me to Naughty by Nature. Here, Tretch sets it off over these grimy and atmospheric samples, introducing us into the album with I can snap, rap, pack, click, clack, patter, pat, pat, take that ass to the point you have to ask for your ass back. A fucking Joker smoker, taunted by no one. If I was born in Chung Li's temple, I would have turned out a shogun. Smack the any and all talk, jokers I can't hawk, and all that shit I hear about me losing is small talk. I ain't a punk or slouch, and furthermore, I don't scare cheap. The reason I called you pussy, 'cause you are what you eat. Each, lick it a little closer to the center of a blow pop. Don't speak when I'm talking, this is my fucking show op. How dare you even try me, don't you know you be funky? While he's smiling backstage doing your mother, doggy style. I'm wild, raw, a whore, and still suave. Check out this style that I've soul simulated. Sounds from a stocky, semi-social, never seems sloppy. See silly slapping suckers, sorry saps and slouchers. Strap, slim, and stouch, mackin' this mass is savvy. We see so songs and some shots, so snatch 7 samples, start slowly, go solo. Set the cassette stereo, sounds diffin', strip the Sagittarian. Some marriage is a system. Smoke the Joker 3 times over and owe her. Go with the flow or I'm about to yoke the Joker. One thing I really love about that verse and a lot of the material that Tretch has written over the years is how he'll utilize alliteration, which is something I feel like the vast majority of MCs don't invoke quite enough. And that really goes for every decade of hip hop. Though, of course, you have exceptions like the late legend Gift of Gab, who was an expert with that type of thing. It's also kind of crazy how much Tretch got around in the 90s, from famously being good friends with Tupac and even having a song from this album on the soundtrack for the movie Juice, to having a pretty short-lived marriage with Peppa of Salt and Peppa, but it was definitely his pen and ability to flow that helped cement him as one of the most gifted MCs of his era, and him and Vinny had more than enough competition, with just a few of the other classics that dropped that year in 1991 being A Tribe Called Quest's Low End Theory, Ghetto Boys' We Can't Be Stopped, Ice Cube's Death Certificate, and De La Soul's De La Soul is Dead. All the production here was handled in-house along with the assistance of Louis Vega, and we also end up getting a couple guest appearances from the likes of Lakeem Shabazz, Apache, and Queen Latifah herself. For honorable mentions on this one, I chose Every Day All Day, Guard Your Grill, 123, Rhyme Will Shine On, Thanks for Sleepwalking, Uptown Anthem LP version, Wickedest Man Alive, and Everything's Gonna Be Alright. Then for my top 3 favorite tracks, I ultimately had to go with OPP, Yoke the Joker, and Let the Hose Go. Thank you for watching my 244th video. Next time, we're moving over to the South to discuss a collective that shares the name of one of my favorite TV shows. So look out for that video, and if you enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know what your favorite moments are off this staple for New Jersey hip-hop. Don't forget to have a great day, and I'll see you next time, okay? Alright.
Look, the key to my soul is locked in the cage it opens. The framework was made from my own rib cue. What came first, the crack of the crack lighter? Whichever one the first fiend used to bring back fire.